Welcome back to Mock the Mock, where we take a look at someone else's mock draft, and I mock it, giving you my thoughts, views, and opinions. And oh boy, we're going back. We're taking a look at Walterfootball because he definitely has the spiciest of mock drafts. You let me know if you think this is a good or a bad mock draft in the comment section below. I haven't looked at it yet. I can't wait. I think he has 3 rounds. We'll speed through rounds 2 and 3. But oh boy, I can't wait to look at it. But what's crackin'-lackin'? It's your boy Broshmo, just in case you did not know. So go ahead, become a bro and subscribe. Leave that thumbs up if you enjoy the content. And as always, let me know what you think in the comment section below. That's have that nice, intimate, sensual football discourse. That's right. I made it sound sexy. Because talking football's sexy to me, dang it. But, just a little heads up. Hey, I've been working a lot. The past few weeks. I'm going to be working a lot this month. I'm trying to get the Patreon up. For y'all that really want like my big board, constant ranking updates and whatnot, I'm going to have a Google spreadsheet laid out for y'all with some evals, just a list of all these prospects. That way you get to see these guys as I evaluate them in real time. As well, we're going to be doing like the team-specific mock draft videos over there, as well as a bunch of other stuff. I just want to jam load all that. So just look for that come maybe I'm hoping maybe Christmas, maybe New Year's. We'll see. Let's go ahead. Let's get into this sucker since it is a 3-rounder. Oh, Kayvon Thibodeau. We got no Aiden Hutchinson going to Detroit. I'm going to be honest with y'all. For me, it's a coin flip. Take whoever you think fits your system best. Flip a coin. One side Aiden, the other side Kayvon, and then go with it. Detroit take best player on the board. It's probably not going to be a quarterback this year, given that there's no stud quarterback prospect. Be interested to see where his first quarterback goes. With that being said, Houston Texans take Malik Willis. Now we got a problem, because I'm just going to say this. If you're willing to take him at 2, why not take him at 1? Listen, I'm one of the guys that I'm not going to be off on Malik Willis. Like, a lot of people are jumping ship. For me, let's go see how he performs at the Senior Bowl first, because the upside's so immense. He has such a Russian upside to him. He has improved a lot of his mechanics. A lot of this is decision making. So if he comes out and it looks like, Jamie Newman at the Senior Bowl, then yeah, red flag. But until then, I'm not going to move him down my board from QB1. And to be fair, him and Matt Corral are currently 1A, 1B, with Sam Corral kind of like looking over the hedge. And then a couple blocks down, we got Kenny Pickett. Like, hey, I'm here too, guys. I'm here too. So, interesting quarterback class. Texans, I'm not taking a quarterback personally, just because, I'm not sold on any of the quarterbacks in this class. I don't really know what more to say for that. Jacksonville Jaguars are taking Jordan Davis. Man, he must think Jordan Davis is this otherworldly prospect. Let me tell you, there is a slight Russian upside to him. Not enough for me to be like, yeah, let's take him top 10. Like, maybe you start to think about him around like maybe pick 15, 17. For me, he's kind of like, I get to pick 20. And I'm like, okay, I feel a lot better about maybe taking a Jordan Davis. Because the guy's going to be an elite run stuffer. But here at 3 is just nonsense to me. He is not the type of, like, he's a good athlete for being like, I think he's like 330, 340. But he is not the type of athlete coming out that Calais Campbell was. I don't consider him a blue chip prospect. Typically, you got to be a rare specimen to be, for me, to be a blue chip interior prospect. So, yeah. Let's keep going. New York Jets. Aiden Hutchinson comes off the board here. It's wonderful. It's a great pick at 4. What more to say? And then Derek Stingley. This is honestly, Derek Stingley, Aiden Hutchinson, that's sexy to me. That's sexy. I know a lot of people are like, oh, Joe Douglas, trenches, and I get it, yeah. I mean, still, in this regard, he is addressing the trenches with Aiden Hutchinson, because you got Carl Lawson coming off season-ending injury. You have, is it Franklin Myers or Myers Franklin? But he has the ability to play both outside and inside. Bryce Huff is actually a pretty solid rotation guy they have there. I think he's the rookie out of Buffalo, or maybe he's a second-year player. I can't remember. But, yeah. I think this is downright sexy. Some people want to talk about the offensive line. The offensive line has not been that bad, really. I would pinpoint the big weakness being Greg Van Roden, who's really just a veteran guy who's good depth and is a replacement level starter. I'm not going after a guard here, and some of y'all might not be sold on George Fant. George Fant's been fantastic this year, by the way. Just going to say that. Derek Stingley, it's self-explanatory. My dog is literally sleeping right behind. So if you hear him talking, he's just sleeping. Giants, I think, have back-to-back picks. So Evan Neal, a guy that can play the right side. I like that. They say Andrew Thomas struggled at the beginning of his career. He's improved, but right tackle is a big need. Evan Neal makes total sense. Jermaine Johnson, I think might test out real well. This is such a freaking bloated tackle class. I was talking with somebody in my comment section who was like, hey, where's Cameron Thomas of San Diego State? Defensive end that has played on the interior a lot there. Where's he at? And I was like, well, I got a day 2 grade on him. I got 17 edge prospects listed as day 1 or day 2 grades. This is a very stacked edge class. Jermaine Johnson, this is a bit early for me because I really like guys like Kingsley Enagbare at this point. There's definitely All, who's kind of this inside-outside type of guy. You have David Ajabo. You got George Karlaftis. There's a lot of guys. It's a very bloated class. A lot of people are going to feel a lot of different ways about this edge class. It's going to be interesting to see what everyone's final rankings are on these edge prospects. And then let's keep going. But, pass rush and offensive line, I think, are kind of obvious needs for the Giants. Eagles do have back-to-back picks. They get lucky. They get Kyle Hamilton. They get George Karlaftis, who just feels like a Philadelphia Eagles type of guy, especially with Derek Barnett. He's been a flop, as Walter has put it here. So I don't have any real gripes outside of Jordan Davis and Malik Willis, and not so much that Texans took Malik Willis. I just feel like if you're willing to take him at 2, you take him at 1. Let's keep rolling. Charles Cross. I've made this pick. A lot of mocks that I've covered this week have made this pick. I know it sucks. Sam Darnold, he's still in town. Maybe you bring back Cam Newton. I don't know. Maybe you could get Gardner Minshew for cheap. It's just I don't feel like addressing the quarterback position this year is a must, just because of how the class. It just you don't really know who the number 1 guy is. How are you really comfortable picking one of these guys in the top 10? I'd rather go get Charles Cross, who is a top 10 tackle, top 10 prospect at this point with huge upside. It really solves their problem at left tackle. And then Matt Corral, man, he's going to be under the tutelage of Matty Ice. So you replace Matty Ice with Matty Lane Train. I don't know what type of nickname to give Matt Corral, but this one's interesting. I feel like pass rush is still the biggest need. I feel like they're kind of invested in Matt Ryan, though they could pitch him this offseason. It's going to really be dependent on what they do this offseason. I don't know if you just grab the heir apparent right now. I don't know. We'll see. I don't got too many gripes about it, but I do want to address pass rush a lot with the Falcons. Vikings. Mike Zimmer gets a first-round corner. It's a good one, man. Ahmad Gardner, my new number 2, by the way. And the Saints, they take top quarterback or top receiver off the board. Garrett Wilson, I agree. Go get him. Trent McDuffie. Ooh, by the way, my new number 3 as well. Going to the Eagles, I think this is a really good scheme fit. And, you got, obviously, he mentions that Slade turns 31 this offseason, but also Steven Nelson, he's only on a 1-year deal. So, grabbing Trent McDuffie, good. So, they really, what do they address? They got Hamilton, they got McDuffie, they got Karlaftis. That's wild. That defense, ooh, sexy. The Browns take Treylon Burks. They get a freak. I talk about Treylon Burks possibly being the number 2 receiver off the board just because the physical tools he's gifted with is just going to be so hard to guard at the next level. So, yeah, I don't mind this. You don't have, you can give Baker another year. I mean, it is what it is. He's been beat up this year, so we know that he's played well in the past. So, and the Pittsburgh Steelers, they go with tackle Trevor Penning. This guy's going to be a big boy. He's big boy, good athleticism. He's like 6'7", but a very good run blocker. I think the Senior Bowl is going to be very important for his grade. And the thing is, man, I feel like you're replacing Dan Moore. You're moving Dan Moore to the right side at this point. Dan Moore, he hasn't been great, but he hasn't been, bad this year. I think he's done a lot better than I would have expected. I wasn't that high on Dan Moore coming into the season. So you get Trevor Penning. I don't mind addressing the line. Line's not been great. Big Ben's been really having to throw the ball extremely quickly. Not that he's been that good this year either. So, yeah. All right, let's go to the next set of picks, and that means I got to close ads. Because, boy, it is riddled with ads up in here. All right. So, what do we got? Denver Broncos, Trayvon Walker. He's actually a really good fit for the Broncos here. Simply because the physical tools are immense. The guy is, I think, 6'3" or 6'4", weighing in at like 275. So you come in and can play on the interior. He could also play on the outside of that line. I don't know if he goes inside. It's going to be interesting because like the production hasn't necessarily been there because he doesn't get on the field a lot because Georgia, they like to shuffle in their defensive line because they're so good. They have so much talent there. They keep everyone fresh. But Walker, I really think if he decides to return, he's a top 10 pick in 2023, at least to start the year off, because we all know that stuff changes. But I'd go quarterback. You got Sam Howell and Kenny Pickett still on the board. Damon Clark, man. This is the first linebacker off the board. This is interesting because maybe I need to watch more Damon Clark. Like, I'm not this high on Damon Clark. I think he's probably going to be like an early day 3 grade for me. Like, I'm not like blown away by him like I am with a Brandon Smith, Nakobe Dean, Devin Lloyd. But yeah, man, maybe this is something I need to further watch. I'm just happy that he leaves so my boy Mike Jones could get some reps there. But Raiders, you could go Chris Olave, you could go Jamison Williams, you go with one of the speedsters. They do need more playmakers at receiver. Washington football team, go Tariq Castro Fields. Quite amazing. This dude's got good speed. Wow, who's giving comparisons of Marlon Humphrey to him? That's wild. I think I got a day 2 grade on him, more so a 3rd round. But that's interesting. I kind of like his teammate Joey Porter a bit more, but I don't think he comes out this year. But that's interesting. I don't think Washington needs out of the corner position. It's really the safety group that's really let them down. And by safety group, I mean Landon Collins and not Cameron Curl. Cameron Curl has been pretty good. Who's the other cat they've been having at safety back there? Because it hasn't. I can't remember. But yeah, I'm surprised they actually don't go quarterback here either at 19 with Pickett or Howell. I mean, those are two guys, especially Howell, man. Pair him back up with De'Ami Brown, man. He was so good with De'Ami. The Los Angeles Chargers, they go Perion Winfrey. This one's interesting. Monitor went out. I'm gonna have to address that. But this one's a bit interesting for me because Perion Winfrey, this feels a bit early because this guy, he's not going to be a run defender. And that's kind of what the Chargers need. Like, I guess he suddenly becomes your, how would you say, your who is it? Who is that? Jerry Tillery. There we go. Jerry Tillery replacement. But Winfrey, the guy hasn't been that good against the run. That's the problem. Like, typically he gets locked up on blocks pretty quickly. It's just he's so good as a pass rusher. This just seems too early. Dolphins get David Ajabo. Holla. I'll take it. I'll take it. Man, I really need this screen to come back up. Here, I'll be right back. My dog knocked out my input cord, so I lost this screen for a second. But yeah, no, I like the Dolphins getting a job, but more pass rush, that's fine. Jalen Phillips has been pretty solid this year, so I don't mind taking him if this is value. Tyler Linderbaum's still on the board. That's kind of interesting. There's a few receivers I wouldn't mind taking, so yeah, I don't mind that. The Buffalo Bills take Jermaine Waller, yo. He's a good scheme fit, but seems way too early for Waller. You could go Kenyon Green, who is you could go Icky, who's still on the board. These guys that could play guard for you, because the guard position's been, not fantastic for the Bills. I just simply think there's better corners on the board between Roger McCreary. You got Kyrie Elam. You have Andrew Booth. Even Martin Emerson. I think there's better corners on the board for the Bills here. And the Jamison Williams going to the Lions. Lions get a speedster, an electric playmaker. I think this guy is going to be really good in the NFL. Just because the way, how sudden he is, man. The way he moves, he's so quick. I love it. I think he's going to be a legit playmaker. He's got like multiple 50-plus yard bombs this year, too. The Bengals take Nicholas Petit. I'm not positive of this, just because I really think that A.J. Hutchinson game kind of sinks his stock, at least to day 2. That's where I have him, especially with Kenyon Green still on the board. I'd be willing to take Bernhard Raymond, too, who's just this athletic freak who is still early in his development, but just been so good. I think he's going to test out like a monster. Drake Jackson going to the Cowboys. I'm starting to come off that they really need edge. I'm really starting to come off of that because Micah Parsons has been so good as a pass rusher. I don't think I want to move him back to linebacker, While Drake Jackson's fine, he kind of fits like the Randy Gregory role. I don't think that's necessary. I think you just go other ways here. I mean, there's still some good corners left on the board, Kansas City Chiefs, they get Chris Olave. I mean, this is good value at this point. He's just sitting here. Why not take him? They get an electric playmaker. I know a lot of Chiefs fans, they think wide receiver is a big need. I really think pass rush is. I know it's looked better this year with Melvin Gordon. Frank Clark's coming on again because, Frank Clark, you pay him all that money, but he shows up at best 50% of the time. But just having Chris Jones be allotted to move back inside is just huge. He's so good from the interior. I still go pass rush. I get it's a deep pass rush class. You could probably address that in the next 2 rounds. Let's see if he does, though. But this is really good value for Chris Olave. Jalen Watermeyer going to the tight ends. I'm not that high on Jalen Watermeyer. I'm sorry. I don't think he's first-round tight end. I barely think he's a second-round tight end. There's some real problems. Go check out my wide receiver / tight end rankings because it's all in one video. And I talk about the problems I kind of have with Jalen Watermeyer. So tight ends, you could do better with this pick. You could do better. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they go running back. They go Brian Robinson. I don't like running backs in the first round. And Brian Robinson, well, he's in my top 10 running backs. He's not in the top 5 or 6. So, but I do agree. Do not go pay Leonard Fournette because he's going to want a lot of money because he played exceptionally well this year. But you don't pay running backs. At least a lot of money. You just don't. The New England Patriots take Josh Jobe. I'm sorry. Josh Jobe is, I don't even think he's a day 2 pick anymore. He has been bad this year. He has been bad. He's a good technician, but he has been flagged consistently, much like he has been his whole career. And he's been beaten this year. I just don't think he's a first round, maybe not even a day 2 pick at this point. So I don't disagree with them going corner if they don't bring back J.C. Jackson, but yeah, I don't like this pick. Jahan Dotson, going to the Packers, so that's cool. They get some receiving help because, let's be honest, they say, let's find an upgrade across from Devontae Adams. Let's be honest, he's not re-signing. He's not coming back. He's not coming back to Green Bay. If he does, I will be thoroughly surprised. And Packer fans, you will rejoice. So I just don't think it's coming back. I don't think he is. Baltimore Ravens, they go Ikem Ekwonu. Icky, my boy Sticky Icky over here. He's a great scheme fit for the Ravens. This is tremendous value because he's a top 10 pick. And when it comes to my big board, the guy has been amazing this year. And then the final pick here we got is Kyrie Elam. This is good value. This is really good value. Good for you, Cardinals. Help get you some cornerback help there because I know Alfred's looked good this year, but can he remain healthy? Will the play stay the same? Let's just get more help, man. You know what? Maybe you got a nice pair of Florida corners there that'll you could have go moving in the future with Marco Wilson. All right, let's see what this round 2 looks like. We're going to speed through these next 2. All right, Justin Ross. This is a bit too early for Justin Ross for me, just because there's a lot of stuff that needs to be asked about in terms of the medicals. And on top of that, he's just this contested catch guy, man. He just doesn't separate well. And I'm just not fans of those. Quay Walker has not played up to this type of standard. He probably won't be a first rounder for me. Maybe not even, well, probably not even a day 2 guy. Honestly, I could see him coming back just because his play hasn't been that great. I get it, the physical tools, they're nice, but he just hasn't lived up to that potential. Alec Pierce, this is the earliest I've seen him in a mock. That's wild. He's a good vertical threat, man. Great size too. I don't know if it goes this early though. That's interesting. Houston though, yeah, they need it. Devin Lloyd, wonderful pick for the Jets. Their linebacker core is a hot garbage. Carson Strong going. Okay. This, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. This kind of makes sense. Carson Strong going to the Seattle Seahawks. They might blow it up, dude. They might move Russell Wilson after this year. They just might blow the whole thing up. They might bring in a new coach. I think this is an interesting pick because it might be very plausible. Andrew Booth is a steal going to the Bears at this point. Pairing him up with Jaylen Johnson. Fabulous. The Giants, dude, getting Kenyon Green to come in there and play on the interior, and he has the ability to play left tackle. And him and Evan Neal, just in case things go south with Andrew Thomas. That's a fabulous pick. Dolphins, they get Isaiah Spiller. That's fine, but I mean, if I'm the Dolphins, there's other things you really need to address. And if y'all know how I feel about running back, I wouldn't be drafting a running back this high. I think the offensive line, there's a lot that needs. Granted, I think they need to do it in free agency. By the way, Tyler Linderbaum's still on the board. Just going to say that. That'd be the pick here for me. But I really do believe, look what Najee Harris, man, you know? Like, he's struggled behind a pretty mediocre to below average offensive line. He struggled to run behind it. And it's not like he's winning the Steelers games, you know? When they're winning, it's when the passing game has been able to be competent, when Big Ben's been able to be competent. But, yeah, having Spiller run behind that offensive line there for the Dolphins, I don't think that's going to help us win games. Logan Hall is an interesting prospect in this class. He has edge size 6'6". I think he's been listed anywhere from 260 to 270. We'll find out eventually what his size is, but I don't know if they go back to the trenches. So I don't know. Brandon Smith, the Eagles, their linebacker core is a Hatagarbo. So, yeah, Brandon Smith's a wonderful pick here. And Kobe Dean's still on the board. Chasen Hines, I have yet to check him out. Maybe he's good. He lists him here at guard. I mean, I don't know. I feel like the Vikings have a few day 2 picks invested in guard with Ezra Cleveland and Wyatt Davis. So, I don't know if they go guard here. I'd be more willing to go with the center. Sam Howell finally comes off the board, by the way, going to the Saints. is this the long-term replacement? I bring back Jameis Winston. And they also signed Taysom Hill to a very lucrative backup quarterback contract. So I think I wouldn't be going with a quarterback just yet for the Saints. They got other concerns. Vederian Mathis, this is a little high for me when it comes to Mathis, but I like Mathis a lot. Pairing him up next to Grady Jarrett's kind of interesting. Zachary Carter going to the interior. I mean, hey, the Browns need some interior help. They're not getting a lot of pressure from there, so I don't mind that. Abraham Lucas is not... Okay, the Colts need a new left tackle, as Eric Fisher is just a temporary solution. Abraham Lucas has played right tackle his whole career. Maybe you move Braden Smith over to left, maybe. But, yeah, no. Kenny Pickett going to the Steelers in the second round, kind of a steal. Honestly, this is, like, for me, this is where I'm the most comfortable. Like, whoa, dude, if I can get Kenny Pickett at this range, I'm kind of cool with that. Because he's probably going to be, like, 35, 32 on my draft board. But Ed Ingram, he's probably, I'm not going to lie to y'all, this is most Raiders pick. Ed Ingram is a Tom Cable guy. He's a big run blocker that lacks a lot of athleticism. It sounds like a Tom Cable guy. Nick Benito, man, there's very few Nick Benito has a role in the NFL, right? He has a role. He's going to be very scheme specific. Denver Broncos are one of those teams that Benito fits a scheme. It's going to be interesting where he goes. I do think he goes maybe second round or somewhere on day 2. It's just, I feel like there's maybe like 7 to 10 teams that really have a role that would be very beneficial for Nick Benito. Darion Kennard goes to Washington. This is, of course, with Brandon Sheriff is only on the franchise tag. I think Eric Flowers is only on a 1-year deal. So yeah, I don't mind them grabbing him here, but he lists him as tackle, man. So does he see him as a left tackle of the future? I don't think Kennard's a tackle in the NFL. That's a bit interesting. RJ Roderick, I'm gonna be honest, I haven't gotten around to this cat. I can't tell you much. Chargers, Alante Taylor, dude. This guy's stupid quick, man. He does have some good tape, and I can't wait to watch him at the Senior Bowl. This guy might be a hot riser. So, yeah, them getting a legit corner with Asante Samuel would be legit. And then why is Jaden Daniels going this high, dude? This guy's not accurate. I'd rather take Desmond Ritter at this point. Jaden Daniels might be forced out. I'm not going to lie to y'all. He might be forced out into this draft class simply because Spencer Rattler might be going to Arizona State. Zacoby McCain, haven't watched him yet, guys. Haven't watched him. Sorry. He's one of the Auburn guys I've yet to get around to. I hear he's good, so maybe this is a good pick. We're in a good range. By the way, Christian Harris, my linebacker 4, coming off the board to the Bills. I do agree that Tremaine Edmonds, quite frankly, you could probably replace him because he's been average at best. Nakobe Dean still on the board, I believe. Jalen Armour Davis, I think this is a guy that's going to probably end up testing well. He's pretty good. I just kind of question his ball skills. But Kansas City, they get a corner. Really need to address the pass rush. Dallas Cowboys grab a safety. Jordan Battle's still on the board, by the way. There's a lot better safeties than Smoke Monday. Smoke Monday, though, probably one of the best names in the draft. I think he's a day 3 guy, though. Brendan Cox, dude. Yo, by the way, we got the shirt. Go check out the shop. I love Cox. Got the Brendan Cox shirt. Go check that out. BroshmoShop.com if you want to get yourself a shirt, hoodie, and represent the Cox. My gosh. But they need pass rush. Brendan Cox, this is a bit early for me. He just hasn't been as... I just think there's a lot more edge rushers with more potential. Sevyn Banks. Who still has Sevyn Banks on day 2? This guy's been hurt this year. He has almost barely, if any, good tape. I get it. Size, length, athleticism. The production hasn't been there. This guy's going to slip down boards similar to his teammate Who was it last year for Ohio State? Because then he got traded. Oh my gosh, I can't remember his name. Ohio State prospects 2021. No, not commits. Prospects draft. Here we go. Swear, I'm gonna see the name and it's gonna be like, oh, duh. Shaun Wade, of course, Shaun Wade. Nah, yeah, this guy's gonna slip like Shaun Wade. Shaun Wade ended up going like the 4th or 5th round. I think that'll probably be similar area for Banks. Amari Barno going to the Patriots. Patriots, you know, I could see them getting more pass rush. Patriots do Patriot things. Barno, this is a bit early for me with him. I honestly think he comes back just because his edge class is just so stacked. I think there's simply better prospects. DeMar Leal, by the way, here at 62. That's great value. Good on y'all. Oh, look, Baltimore Ravens, Drake London get a big body receiver. And honestly, you could probably line this guy up as your tight end 2 or tight end 3 sometimes. He has lined up in line before this season. This is great value, man. You got Rashad Bateman on the outside there, too. You got Hollywood. Like, there's a lot of fun things you could do with Drake London in Baltimore. Will McDonald, he's another guy I feel like will slip just because how jam-packed this class is at edge, but I get it. You got what, J.J. Watt, who got beat up this year. You got Chandler Jones potentially on the way out. Zach Allen, I wouldn't mind upgrading from. Let's check out this 3rd round. Roger McCreary going into the 3rd round. What value. This is wild. That blows my mind. I'm not going to lie to y'all. CJ Verdell ain't draftable to me. What we've only seen. How's Kenneth Walker on the board? He is, I think, hands down, the best running back in this class. I think you can maybe make a case for Breece Hall up there too, but no, he's a 3rd. So CJ Verdell, 3rd running back on board. I think he's undraftable, man. I think he's an undrafted free agent. He got beat up. I think he improved his vision, but he isn't a guy that's gonna really. There's not a lot of forced missed tackles with him. He typically would get to the 2nd level fairly easy. Well, this year at least, you know. Prior years, he's typically smashing into the back of his offensive line like full speed. But yeah, no, I'm just not that high on CJ Verdell. John Mechie, though, going here to the Jags. They get a guy that can separate. That works. Terrell Bernard. This is interesting. This is a bit higher than I have him. But he is a guy I do want to go back and watch a little bit more of. So I don't know why they would go linebacker. Bobby Wagner's lost a step. Dude, he's still a top 5 linebacker in the league. What type of step has he lost? I still think he's out here doing good. Zamir White going to the Jets. Zamir White, he's just not that dynamic in my opinion. I think there's simply better backs in this class. But what he does, size, just his skill set, it translates well to the NFL. I think he could be a very good running back in a committee, so I don't hate it too much. Again, Kenneth Walker, Breece Hall still on the board. Charlie Collier, talk about this as an Evan Ingram replacement. This feels more like a Kyle Rudolph replacement. I think Collier is a prime tight end too in the NFL. So I'd rather take guys like, who are still on the board, by the way, Trey McBride, Jeremy Ruckert, Isaiah Likely, Greg Dulcich, just those 4 guys, just to name a few. Demarion Overshown, I'm not going to lie, y'all, he's kind of falling down my boards to be taken this high. He is a very poor tackler, and he struggles between the tackles, speaking of which. But I do like him in coverage. I do love me a coverage linebacker. 72, Nakobe Dean. Utter steal, not going to happen, unrealistic. I'm calling it. The guy's going to set the combine on fire. LeBron Ray, man, this is a cat that could have came out the last couple of years. He's going to be very, like, this is a guy that can fit into any scheme. He's going to be a great depth piece. You're not taking this guy on day 2, though. I'm sorry. Speaking of guys you're not taking on day 2, James Skolasky. He's an older player. Man, he's like similar to what round did Tanner Muse go? He was drafted in the 3rd round. Oh, wow. Well, maybe it can happen. But dude's an older player. He's been productive. It's just, I think there's better athletic freaks in this class. George Pickens to the Texans. That's kind of fun. I kind of like that. Zay Flowers, because this makes a ton of sense with Ridley, kind of a question mark. Jameson Williams, yeah, he went to Detroit. Trying to think if there's maybe any other receivers you could probably take here. I mean, I personally have receivers higher than Zay Flowers, but Zay Flowers is pretty darn good. Travis Jones going to the Vikings. To be fair, that the health of their defensive interiors, honestly, the health of that defensive line has been just pretty bad this season. And Travis Jones, dude's kind of legit. He is someone Zimmer would actually like. He likes these more meaty defensive interior guys to come in and play 1 and 3 tech. So, yeah. Why did they list Caleb Evans as Tulsa? The guy transferred. He played at Mizzou this year. He's not a day 2 guy. Just gonna throw that out there. But Colts, they could address the corner position. We got Cleveland Browns, Ali Gay, very stuffed edge class there. I just think there might be better edge prospects on the board. Kingsley Nagbari, I think, is still on the board, so woof. John Ridgeway. I need to watch more John Ridgeway. I couldn't really give you an honest opinion about Mr. John Ridgeway. I've seen a couple of games with him, and he's alright, but I don't know if he's day 2. Henry Toto, I don't think he comes out, but Denver Broncos, they could use someone to give some depth at that linebacker core. And Henry Toto, man, or Tutu or Toto, the dude tracks ball carriers very well. Just needs to become a better tackler, better finisher, and a bit more aware in coverage. If we're gonna play him in as more of a man coverage guy, I think that works great for him. There's Jaylen Tober, one of the guys I'm probably a little bit higher on in this class of the receiver position. So they get a big guy that can be a downfield threat. Miles Jones going to Washington. They double dipped at corner, didn't they? Yeah, they did. I'm pretty sure. For me, it's early for Miles Jones, but again, this is a very good corner class. So it's going to be interesting to see where a lot of people have their corners ranked. But yeah, for me, that's high, but I'm not going to fault it. Daniel Falele going to the Chargers. Nice right tackle. He played right tackle this year. You get a nice big boy there, right tackle. Kyler Gordon, speaking of one of the guys that I consider better corners in this class, going to the Dolphins. I'm cool with that. Cornerback depth. Josh Thompson. Haven't watched a lick of Josh Thompson. Couldn't tell you about him. Same with Jawanya Thomas. I haven't watched him much, so I couldn't really tell you about him. Bubba Bolden, I'm telling you, ain't coming out. I get it. The cat, he's got good physical and athletic traits. He has just not played particularly well. I really think he comes back. Broncos get a long-term replacement for Kareem Jackson. It looks like they really like Kate Stearns, so I don't know about that one. Kobe Bryant, the Black Mamba, he comes off the board here. I actually like this value for him. I like him as this 3rd round guy. He's been very good. Cowboys, they could use a legit cornerback too after Anthony Brown got burnt Thanksgiving. Ventrell Miller, he got hurt this year. I think he ends up going day 3. He's more of a coverage guy, but he was more of a solid tackler the past couple of years. Just got hurt. Desmond Ritter still on the board, by the way, at 91. See, I list Ritter. He's at like 60 for me, right? So Walterfootball is even lower on Ritter than I am. And people consider me exceptionally low on Ritter. But, yeah, wow. Long-term replacement for Ryan Tannehill. That works. Quay Walker. I would say he is the third best linebacker there at Georgia. I really like Tannen a lot. But Walker, I think I list him as a fourth rounder, so this is about the range. Wan'Dale Robinson, yo, that's fun, dude. I like this for Patriots. They could do a lot of cool things with him. Whether it's line him in the slot, have him come out and be your like James White out of the backfield, you could do a lot of cool things with him. Momo Sango, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, this cat, he's been in football for a while. I don't think he's draftable. So yeah. Devontae Price. Oh man, where's Kenneth Walker? Where's Breece Hall? What is this running back class that Walter has? Zion Johnson, this is exceptional value here. Exceptional value. Get him to play guard, that's fine. I mean, at this range, you're just kind of looking for depth. You're looking for guys to develop. But, wow, yeah, let me know what you think of this mock draft. That's it for the video. Go ahead, do that YouTube thing. And as always, until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.